budget, because if we did, then it would be built into the budget. And if the revenue stream dried up, you'd still have the budget side looking more consistent. Is there a reason not to do that? Because we do it, for instance, with food services and other areas.
We do what I'll call, I guess I would term some what I'll call more stable grants. We don't actively participate in Title I anymore because the funding for us has gone down to the point where the rules and regulations are.
I understand that, but by leaving it out, it's one thing if it's a grant and a expenditure that is tied only to it. If you didn't have the grant, you wouldn't do it. But when it's something that we're doing because it's part of what we think is operational to the school, and we may want to continue it, I thought we were putting those in the budget typically.
Well, I would, and I'm thinking on the spot, which potentially is a bad thing, but
Welcome to my world.
but the grants are intended to go above and beyond what the budget covers, not to pay for something that the district is responsible for. So I can't put curriculum revision in a grant because we are required to do that as a district. If I'm looking to add something that goes above and beyond, then I can grant fund it. So the reason why they sometimes allow class size reduction in Title II, Title IV, and REAP, which this district isn't eligible for, is because it's considered something that has come up that wasn't budgeted for, and you need to alleviate the fact that there's been a bubble, let's say, but not a regular expenditure for a known size issue. Because I'm always having to justify why it's something that the budget shouldn't cover, why it's above and beyond.
Okay, so that's, if you put it in the budget, it almost negates the eligibility of it? Okay. Understand, I don't like it, but I understand it. Thank you. At this point, what are the next steps from your perspective on the budget?
We have our public hearing coming up at our, I think it's the next board meetings. We'll take positions on the articles as well as the operating budget, and those pieces will allow us to head into an annual meeting. So we're not done, but we're coming through the tunnel.
Public hearing is on the 6th,
Yep.
February 6th?
Mm-hmm.
Where will that be?
Here.
Here?
6:30.
So February 6th, 6:30, here at the middle school. Correct. In this room? In this room. Okay.
Snow date the 8th.
We'll send a email out of the dates. I know a lot of people have a lot of different dates on their calendars.
Yeah, I think some of the ones that went out there have been adjusted, not necessarily with the school, but I think some of the time was around the school too.
Okay.
Any more questions or discussions specifically about the budget items? Okay. I just retrospectively, I have heard of a few comments from board members. The pendulum has swung from where it was, say, 10 years ago, where it was done almost in isolation here on the board while the budget committee did theirs in isolation, and we've moved to the way that the RSA is written, that the budget committee develops the budget, and the administration and the including the board member of the budget committee work diligently on that, and it has had a very positive result in two forms. One is that there's a lot less shock at the end, and therefore, for the most part, budgets get presented jointly at the district meeting with, I think, a big benefit to the community. However, I think some board members feel that they are missing some understanding of it, and if you can think of ways to maybe open the window a little bit more. In the past, we've had some joint meetings along the way that we didn't have. There's no real problem we have to fix them, just
Yep.
as we evolve it.
Okay.
I think that might be helpful. STEM facility update is next on the window.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn it over to Gina first, and then
Is,
I'll.
is this focusing on the handout, or that you sent, or the slides that you sent around?
Yeah, it's just an update on where we stand and to
Okay.
address the change in the presentation.
Okay.
So the slideshow that I sent out right after the agenda was sent out, and then this has now been attached to the agenda on the one that's posted to the web. You know, I took some feedback from those that were present in the first public forum. By the way, this public forum is scheduled for January 22nd at 7 p.m. at RMMS in the gym. And we took some feedback and really started fresh, not thinking of where we were last year, but really thinking about the different goals that had been identified by the board, starting with the goal statement and then moving to the facts. And so we're really identifying a distinct difference between 7:30 to 2:30 and 2:30 to 10, and how the facility, there's a need for both times, and the board has identified the concern about class size, which requires additional classroom space, and this proposal allows for additional classrooms. And then with the proposal, there are byproducts of the proposal which frees up space. I realize that in the PDF, some of the words are covered up because there's a picture that slides in, so I apologize for that. But really identifies this is the current space in this particular room, and this is what it would look like. This would be a different use, different from what it is used as now. And then the new space, this is how it would be utilized the entire time from 7:30 to 2:30, and how it would be utilized from 2:30 to 10. I think that seemed to resonate a little bit more with the public, and I think that's closer to where the committee feels, you know, we need to go, and is our driving force. So we have that.
What's this picture supposed to show?
That's what she said, it flew in.
There's animation, so it's
So on a,
slides in.
yeah, so a PDF, it doesn't allow it to slide in. Which one are you on?
I don't, byproduct of proposal, it starts with room 362.
This one here.
Okay, so the picture below that's kind of mostly covered up, that picture is an image of,
No, not that one.
Not
Keep
that one?
going. That one.
these students.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just talking about, I don't know, it's a picture of our students. And how I didn't feel that an image needed to be showing that 362 is a classroom that's becoming a different classroom, and that 370 was a classroom and it's becoming a different classroom because there's really no difference in image. But the idea was that this is for students and giving flexibility with additional classrooms for our increasing number of students. It's just a picture of seniors on Spirit Week.
Okay. I'll
So
I
are-
just wanted to make one comment that the STEM facility committee was revamped, if you will. You know, we broke off from the turf field facility committee, and when we did that, we added to the building administrators, and we added the department head of the math department chair, the science department chair, and then I think our department chair of math is also our technology and engineering department chair. Is she? Did she
Yes.
oversee that as well?
All in one.
So we brought in all the experts, if you will, on the building and on those particular, and on STEM, so that they could take a look at it and really say, wow, this space would be good here, this is what we need. And we also I heard from, I went in and met with them and met with the computer science teacher and the physics teacher to really get a handle on what we would be using this new space for, proposed space, and how that would impact the rest of the building. I just wanted to.
And I think the key is how the byproduct spaces that become available, how those would be maximized.
Right. And that's where the input from the faculty came in really handy. I sound like my grandmother, came in handy.
question, comment, suggestion. The slide that says design needs
Yep.
and shows the table space as flexible workspace storage.
Uh-huh.
The last item, high-end laptops with graphics to handle CAD.
Yeah.
Are those being paid for within the warrant article money?
No, none of this is.
No.
Well,
But
see, to me, except for that one, these are in fact, design criteria for the space. That one item to me stands out, and as an outsider looking in, it implies to me that that's part of the proposal, that these are being funded in it. I think that
yeah,
might be
I can
better
see it.
being
I can see why you would think that.
held out.
Yep.
We could look at that. One of the reasons that was inserted was because the public feedback had informed us, a number of people, that felt we needed to mention that we were moving into CAD and those type of pieces, because those are areas they felt that the high school needed to address.
Well, I could understand if you want, say, space, or appropriate space for computer-aided activities,
Yep, okay,
but I wouldn't reference hardware.
okay. No, that's, point well taken.
So I'm just thinking on how we market this, right? So are we calling it the STEM Center or the Innovation Center? Because I've seen.
It has not moved, John, unfortunately. I know where we're going.
Yeah, so I fully appreciate the change in focus to providing more space. I think I was a proponent of that months ago, just because I was reconsidering kind of the feedback that we heard during the annual meeting, the debates that happened there. And, there was some concern from the public that there was too much focus on STEM. There were other areas that we should also focus on. And anyway, so early on we say, so yes, we're talking about increasing space, right? And I think a few months ago I commented that personally I think it'd be good if we just focused on that and not even necessarily what it will be used for specifically, but here's all the problems we have, and now with this space we can do all sorts of other things, right? Some of which will be STEM, some could be whatever. So we start off saying that there is, there's no slide numbers, so it's hard to, anyway, it's 4 or 5 slides in the facts. It says not enough math and humanities classrooms. And I don't see anything later, and I've admittedly thumbed through this pretty quick, but about how this affects an increase in humanities space, for instance.
It's on the slide, it's the proposal, I brought you the proposal, that picture, the second, when the picture slides in.
Oh,
the second one. That's,
Human means humanity.
well, that's
STEM.
because it's covering,
Yes, okay.
that's, we'll be picking up a humanities class.
And then the slide that Tom was referring to a moment ago, the other byproduct of the proposal, says 370 becomes a math classroom.
Sure, I'm more concerned on non-STEM topics, right? Being included. So then why continue calling it STEM Center if it includes benefits beyond STEM? I think we should reconsider the name maybe. And then also one thing that popped out was okay, we have all this space and we can relieve some of the classroom size, but then the question is, do we have enough teachers to realize that or not?
Can I address the first thought, which was the renaming of it? We definitely consider different names. We also consider how that would be received by the public. One of the concerns was, well, last year you needed STEM Center, this year you need an Innovation Center. What are you going to need next year? So consistency, driving that home, that is something that we need, and we continue to need it this year. That was one of the thoughts Holly
I'll
found.
add one too. I think the thing that is important to remember is that the new space is, although yes, it's open and it has some ceiling mounted electric, but it is being designed, thought of, planned for engineering and computer science. So we have a big storage area. If this was just going to be humanities classrooms, we wouldn't need storage areas necessarily. So we have a big storage area. We have a loading dock. We have things in place that make it easier for you to bring in larger materials, things that would space was designed with those things in mind. And that's why this new space is a STEM center. But the byproduct is that every single student in the building will walk through spaces that are changed because of this. And so we're trying our best to communicate what's happening between 7:30 and 2:30, but also remember that from 2:30 to 10:30, there will be 1 or 2 or 3 different groups using this space for STEM-related activities. So, and we want people who want STEM to come out and vote, but we want everybody to see how positive this can be for the entire building.
And then
So we didn't change the name.
yeah, and then I just add on the needs slide, which maybe is the third one or so, or the fourth slide. The second bullet says reduction in class size to conform to school board policy, additional teacher in FY20 operating budget, additional teacher made available through course changes.